Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opus Otaku, the place where I blabber about Japanese cartoons. So the other day, I saw this guy on Reddit hating on One Piece with really stupid reasons. Most of his arguments didn't really make sense, and it looked like a great opportunity for a video, so I hope you enjoy it. Before we start though, I understand this is entirely his opinion, but he says some pretty dumb things and hates on One Piece with shallow arguments and bad reasoning. This post was made 6 years ago, which for the anime would be the Luffy vs Doflamingo fight. Again, I don't want to offend his opinion or anyone else's, and with that being said, let's get right into it. Oh, also I need to mention that it is 22 degrees Celsius outside right now. Very important stuff. Before I start ranting, I want to point out that I don't want to offend anyone who still enjoys the shit out of the series or thinks it's even better than it used to be. Also, sorry for my shitty English. One Piece has been my favorite manga / anime ever since I was like 7 years old. There is no other franchise that gave me more unforgettable moments and more awesome characters to love. The recent status of it all just annoys the hell out of me. Okay, I must agree that the recent status, which for at the time this person wrote this, would be at the Dressrosa arc. This is a very controversial arc, and the anime just made it worse. The entire post-time skip era has been very controversial, to be honest, and I dislike it quite a bit as well. The Wano arc is really good so far, but I guess it didn't exist when this was written. Number 1. Luffy's powers are random, stupid, and look like shit. Whoa, hold on. I thought that you meant the recent status was bad? Luffy had the Gomu Gomu no Mi since the start of One Piece for what I know, but don't take my word for it. When he started out, Luffy was nothing but a determined dude with his Gomu Gomu power, a simple yet effective power which led to some of the most creative and most badass attacks ever. He defeated his first big enemies, Buggy, Beauregard, Don Krieg, and Arlong, by using his Devil Fruit for something new and innovative each time. I thought you said Luffy's powers are bad? Being able to stretch out body parts isn't exactly the coolest power to begin with, but man, did they run with it. Yes, obviously I would have ran with it. The reason Luffy's powers are so great is because it isn't plain super strength and super speed. This person probably doesn't like something that isn't normie, like key or something. It's like 6-year-old me who never tried anything else besides tomato soup whenever I went to a restaurant and disliked anything that isn't tomato soup. That feeling of impending greatness when Luffy had shit stretched out to an extreme level and his attack was rushing towards an enemy. Hell yes. Now what do you got? Shit went downhill when they introduced Gear 2nd. I guess I can't hate too much on that one since all the steam and his attacks looked pretty neat. Except for the guy turning freaking pink. But Gear 3rd was a first step towards Luffy's fighting turning stupid. Those huge limbs are so damn goofy looking and just not cool at all. They don't match his other abilities whatsoever, especially now that he can harden his body using Haki or some unnecessary shit like that. Okay, now you're just being a first grader who thinks pink is a bad color because it is a girl color. I don't understand by what he meant shit went downhill when Gear 2nd was introduced. Because Gear 2nd is an upgrade which literally any other anime main character gets. I guess the person just doesn't like Gear 3rd because it's not cool as other anime upgrades, but not all upgrades are supposed to be cool because the results are amazing in the end. But that's entirely his opinion, so I won't judge it. The thing that does make me a bit mad though is that he says Luffy's Gear 3rd doesn't match his other abilities like his Haki, which is the exact opposite. This sounds more stupid than climbing a glass wall to see the other side, because if he hardens his punch using a Haki, it deals more damage. I have no idea what he's talking about when he says unnecessary shit, because if he is referring to Haki, this person is plain stupid and wrong. Haki is one of the most important things in One Piece because for a show running for over 2 decades, Devil Fruits can be very bland. Even if Oda made super interesting fights, Devil Fruits would have been very bland either way. Much like stands in JoJo, where even if everyone has a different ability, it can get quite repetitive. So Haki is very essential for a show that's been running for so long and a perfect match for Devil Fruits. Moving on. Seriously, the only thing looking dumber than Luffy blowing his arms to huge, stupid looking ball thingies is when he combines this crap with the Haki hardened bullshit. It makes his fights awful to watch, not to mention his fights have sucked for a long time now for a variety of reasons. Oh, and that Gear 4th they new introduced looks hilariously awful as well. Just what the frick? And don't even get me started on Luffy being a carefree moron after all that traumatic shit happened to him. Okay, so he goes on about how Gear 3rd doesn't match with Haki when it works so well. Next, he starts roasting Gear 4th, which in my opinion is such a perfect combination of badassery and silliness, and the King Kong gun on Doflamingo was one of the most satisfying moments of One Piece, at least in the manga. This person doesn't like change and just wants generic anime shonen stuff. Next, he starts talking about how Luffy shouldn't have been a carefree person after Ace's death. I don't think anybody would have liked it if Luffy was a depressed person the whole time after Ace's death either. Luffy's goal is supposed to be finding the One Piece, not cry over Ace's death. Number 2. The crew's dreams don't matter anymore. You forgot the punctuation there. Remember that awesome scene when each member of the Straw Hat crew took a vow to fight for their dream? When having a dream actually mattered? Let's see what has become of their ambitions. Luffy. Well, there hasn't been anything regarding his dream happening, except for him yelling, "I'm the one who will become the king of pirates," from time to time. Let's see. So, if they've come until the Dressrosa arc, there's been a decent amount of progress for Luffy to become the pirate king. Luffy's plan to defeat Kaido has been set in motion by defeating his supplier of smile fruits, Doflamingo and Caesar Clown. Defeating an Emperor of the Sea is one step closer to becoming the Pirate King, and I don't know how he can miss that. Zoro. Well, he has to defeat Hawkeye to become the greatest swordsman, right? So, yeah, I don't know, he probably still wants to. Well, Zoro's goals are much simpler than Luffy's because all he has to do is become the strongest swordsman, which requires him to just train and become stronger, unlike Luffy's goal to become the Pirate King, which is a long and step-by-step process. Nami. She wanted to draw a map of the Grand Line, but she hasn't done much about it. Guess she kind of freaked up on that one. No, yeah, I actually agree with that. Actually, it would be nice to see Nami draw the map sometimes. Usopp. Worst example. His dream was to become a fearless warrior of the seas, but hasn't he already killed like 100 fisherman enemies in that one battle scene on Fisherman Island, using ridiculous fighting tech in a badass way? Hasn't he actually achieved his dream already? I don't know how he has achieved his dream because he's still a coward, and I'm sure Oda doesn't plan on uncowardificating him. The reason Usopp is the favorite character of a lot of people is because even though he's normally a coward and is always scared, when the time comes, he mans up and fights. And even if he has achieved his dream, all of the crew members want Luffy to become the Pirate King, including Usopp. Sanji. His dream was to find the All Blue. At least that's what he said before he decided to not give a single frick about it ever again. So at this point, I think he just wants all of the crew members to scream their dreams and goals everywhere they go, like Luffy. Now, Sanji's goals are something that he's going to do along the way while helping Luffy become the Pirate King. Sanji is a joke now. You forgot the punctuation, sir. Sanji was one of the baddest motherfuckers around when they introduced him. Now they exaggerated his dumb ladies' man gimmick to such an extreme that it's impossible to take him seriously. In the Fisherman Island arc, he nearly freaking died from nose bleeding. And in Dressrosa, he just gets his ass kicked by Violet because blah blah blah, corny crap, women are awesome, blah blah. It's ridiculous. I know he always had a soft spot for hot females, but there's a way to make that thing clear without turning this once amazing fighting machine into a laughingstock. He wasn't that much of a dork in the first couple of arcs. Also, his fighting technique where his legs on fire, Diablo Jambe, is fucking bullshit. What kind of random, nonsensical, unnecessary shit is that? I must agree that Sanji has become too much of a joke after the time skip, especially in the Fisherman Island arc. But what makes me a bit mad is that he calls Sanji a fighting machine. Sanji is very essential to the crew and Luffy, not only when it comes to fighting, but also when it comes to food. If Sanji were not in the crew, all the Straw Hats would probably die of starvation. Next, Diablo Jambe. It's a technique. It's a technique which any other shonen anime character has. Well, that one technique where Sasuke gets his lightning in his hand, Chidori, is freaking bullshit. What kind of random, nonsensical, unnecessary shit is that? Number 4, Fisherman Island sucked ass. I'm not even gonna go to blah blah blah. So, I agree with this one as well, but I feel like Fisherman Island arc was just an arc to show off the Straw Hats' new power. Oda put no effort into the antagonist Hody Jones, who is probably one of the worst antagonists in the entirety of One Piece. Even though it had a bad villain and a bad setting, it showed the new strength of all the Straw Hats amazingly. Also, sir, you need to remember your punctuations. Think how angry your English teacher is going to be after this. Number 5. What's with Usopp? As I mentioned before, Usopp's character is completely messed up. He returned after the time skip with all kinds of supposedly badass weapons and shit, but he still shits himself now? Why? I think the best answer to this is the fact that Oda probably wants to keep Usopp a coward until the end because that's his trademark. Didn't he totally rule at that fight against the fisherman dipshits? Wasn't he supposed to be a different man now? Usopp was still my favorite character when he was a coward weakling, because when push came to shove, he still got his shit together and fought, even if he had no chance. Great, now he just contradicted himself. Earlier, he stated that Usopp is already a brave warrior of the sea and thus already reached his goal. Now he says that his favorite character was Usopp because of that very same reason. His fights against Arlong's guy, Mr. Four, and Gedatsu were damn awesome because of how brave he was. Now, he has all sorts of cool stuff, but he still wuzzes out on stuff, and they want him to be nothing but the crew's sniper. Snipers are cool. He is just degrading the value of a sniper when it is one of the coolest roles in the crew, in my opinion. He would not be an interesting character if his biggest characteristic was just gotten rid of. Number 6. They're all too strong. You forgot the punctuation. The Straw Hat crew is all overpowered, so their fights aren't as fun to watch anymore. Remember when Zoro fought the entire population of that town Whiskey Peak? It was awesome because couldn't just destroy everyone with a single attack. The crew gets more powerful as the story progresses, I get it, but still, taking out a huge amount of enemies with a single blow is nowhere as awesome as having to struggle through. At this point, I am just thinking that this guy has seen clips of One Piece on YouTube without the context. In no way is the Straw Hat crew overpowered. This is probably one of the most stupidest points this user has said, because they all struggled tremendously in almost every arc of One Piece, especially the Dressrosa arc. Bonus reason: the fighting itself used to be awesome, violent, and bloody, and freaking red. Now it's freaking tame as blah, blah, blah. Actually, I kinda agree with this one, but it's not like the more blood the better, and I don't find it a big deal. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd really like to know what your least favorite part of One Piece is, other than the pacing. Make sure to leave that in the comments down below. Also, please subscribe. Thank you, bye.